Hello, it's Ferdinand tutorial. Let's talk about farm animals. Now, when we're talking about farm animals, we say that farm animals or livestock are animals which are domesticated. Now, when we're talking about domesticated, I mean that these animals are kept in house or in farm for the purpose of producing personal consumption for the man or as a tangible product which can be sold in the market. Now, when we're talking about farm animals, we say that farm animals must be domesticated before it can be called a livestock. Now, it has the following qualities. Now, some of the qualities include its ability to produce based on the feed fed to them. Secondly, its ability to reproduce for continuity of species. Are you getting it? Now, farm animals must be able to show out the feed being fed to them. You don't just feed them and at the end of the day they don't produce. No, they must produce the feed which you've given to them. Now, secondly, they must be able to reproduce. When I'm talking about reproduction, now remember that reproduction is some of the things that makes a farmer happy, because when you see your farmer growing, when you see your farm animals growing, producing new ones, you'll be happy. Now that is it. Now some example of farm animals we have cattle, we have goats, we have sheep, donkeys, poultry, birds, pigs, we have bees and all the rest. Now, farm animals can be classified into three groups. Now, we have farm animal can be classified based on reproduction. Farm animal can be classified based on size. Farm animal can be classified based on nutrition. Now, when we are talking about farm animal classified based on reproduction, we have mammals and aves. Now, mammals are animals that have internal reproduction. Now, that means that their young ones are alive. They don't lay eggs. Are you getting it? Now, these animals are kept for meat, hides and skin, and also for drought purposes. Now, example of this animal, we have cattle, we have goat, we have pig, and etc. Now we have the second example of like the second classification of animal under reproduction, where we have the aves or poultry. Now these aves are animals which lay eggs. They have external reproduction. Why? Because this animal lay fertilized egg, and these fertilized egg are hatched outside the body of the animals. Now example of this animal, we have fowl, we have dog, we have turkey, and others. Now that is it. Now the second classification of animal, we have classification based on size. And when we're talking about size of the animal, we have macro and we have micro. When we're talking about macro farm animal are animals which takes a large space to rear. They takes everything large. Their food they take normal big amount of food. Now the space they require large space. They require huge amount of money to set up. Now example of this farm animal, like macro farm animal, example of them, we have cattle, we have sheep, we have goat, we have pigs, we have fowl. All these are macro farm animal. Now we are talking about micro farm animal. Micro farm animal are animals which require small space to rear. Now their animal products are small. They require small amounts of capital to set up. Example of this farm animal, we have bees and snails, etc. Are you getting it? Now we have the third classification, which is classification based on nutrition. Now we're talking about classification based on nutrition. Now classification based on nutrition is talking about how animal feeds. Are you getting it? Now we have ruminant animal and we have what? Non-ruminant animal. When we are talking about this classification, it's talking about their stomach compartment, how they react to feeds. Are you getting it? How their stomach react to feed fed to them. So we have ruminant animal and non-ruminant animal. Now when we're talking about ruminant, we say that they have four stomach compartments. Where we're talking about non-ruminant, they have only one single stomach compartment. Ruminant animal are polygastric. Non-ruminant animal are what? Monogastric. So that is it. Now example of ruminant animal, we have cattle, sheep, goat, donkey, and others. One example of non-ruminant animal, we have poultry, that's fowl, we have pig, we have snail, bees, etc. So that is it. In our next class, we'll be talking about ruminant animal in full. We'll be discussing ruminant animal in full. So that will be all for this class. I'll be seeing you again in our next class. Please subscribe to this channel, share to your friends, like and comment. Thank you.